I would say what is good, YouTube, like I always do. But you see the song that I'm going to react to as a liberal. Um, I just want to get this off my chest before we start. What happened? My voice cracked. What happened with the attempted assassination of a former president is absolutely unacceptable. I'm asking you guys, before you just click on this and be like, oh, another liberal I can hate on, listen. Please listen to this video in its entirety. I condemn any and all people who are actively engaged in trying to take out a president or a former president or anyone on our soil. I don't condone it. I want to send my condolences to those who lost their lives, to their families, to those who were injured. I believe a firefighter was shot and killed. My condolences to that. I mean that sincerely with all my heart. This incident makes me angry. It makes me sad. Because it's causing more division. It's causing more of a line in the sand, and I don't think it has to be there. And the problem is you have extremes on both sides. Extremes. Not the normal people. The extremes doing certain things, and then everyone gets categorized into the same group, and that's just not healthy. With that said, y'all can see the UMass. Now, I know I'm going to get called out. I don't know. Like, I'll say something that I didn't say something. I don't know. People said, and I know this is probably a longer intro. I was called out on here saying, Amy, your silence on this whole incident is it speaks volumes. And so I'm like, but I did speak out on it. I said, I don't condone violence. I wish Trump well, even though I don't agree with his policies. It's a policy issue. And I don't like his demeanor, like how aggressive he is. It's just not my flavor. Doesn't mean I want the guy dead. I don't know. There's no way I'd want that. I wouldn't call for violence. I don't do that. But here's let me just give you the harsh reality. When things happen, they happen as we all have our lives, right? I've been having a Meniere's flare-up this weekend, so I haven't been able to hear. And when I have a Meniere's flare-up, it's not just hearing, like all the frequencies get messed up, which is why I haven't reacted to videos. But I get brain fog, I get vertigo, I start vomiting, I get pressure in my ears. Like it's debilitating. So there's not a lot I can do. I'm out until the flare-up passes. It's passed for the most part. At the same time, because of my Meniere's, I'm going to be moving, all right? And so I have to move to a higher elevation, drier climate, which is about 4 hours away. So I have a rental that my mom's in, my other house. So I've got to move my mom. So I've been doing this. So I've been doing landscaping and getting her situated and getting that stuff, starting that process of moving and getting that house sold. Got to move this house and the church. So it's a lot. It's a lot. I'm like overwhelmed, and it's a lot. But this is important. And as soon as my Meniere's cleared up to where I can hear, I can't hear the greatest, but I can hear enough now. I was going to react to this. So my silence isn't because of a lack of empathy. It isn't because I don't have things to say. It's not because I don't want to give my perspective. Not that it matters, but it's literally, guys, I just haven't been able to. And the videos that I did do, I had recorded 3 or 4 of them. I usually record 5 or 6 videos on the same day, and I schedule them out all week. So the ones that you did see were all scheduled, except for the Eminem ones I did live right in the moment. But yeah, that's where we're at. So with all that said, if you're still clicked on this video, let's watch this. The events that took place yesterday are horrifying example of political extremism in America. So a couple things I want to note here. Absolutely, it was horrifying. Yes, political extremism, not liberalism, extremism, not alt-right extremism. And it is horrifying. Let's go on. And here's the other thing I want to say. The fact that Tom could get this out in 12 hours after the incident goes to, I mean, I know he created his own beat. I know he wrote the lyrics, the melody, all that stuff. I know that Nova had to record it. I mean, that is some fast turnaround, and I know he's passionate about this. Now, y'all said I ain't gonna like this video. You guys might be surprised. Well, I don't, actually, no, you're right. I'm not gonna like the video. I don't like the fact that we have to have a video like this. Like, this shouldn't have never happened. That's where I'm at. So, I'm already disappointed with the state of our country, but I'm still hopeful I'm still hopeful. But enough with my intro. I know it's a long one. Let's jump into the song. My heart's just crushed right now. During a rally, shots were fired in an attempt on Donald Trump's life. Again, I condemn any act of violence. I think all resolutions should be taking place in the voting booth. That's my opinion. We take out our frustrations with each other by the way we vote. We have dialogue. We have conversation. We try to understand one another.
They burning the country down with their progressiveness. It started with changing what gender is, then graduated to you're racist if you think that your life matters and your skin don't have melanin. They don't want peace, they want skeletons. They want men to pretend that they're feminine. They don't want an election, they got so offended by freedom that they just try killing the president. I used to think that the woke were misguided, but now
Listen to what he said. I used to think well, listen to what he said. I used to think that the woke were misguided, okay? He's talking about the woke. We're talking about the extremism. And the problem with extremism is it's not tolerant. It's their way or it's their way only. And I don't buy into extremism. I never have. I never will. And to see that the entire left is extreme or the entire right is extreme, that's not true. That's not facts. Because I'm not extreme. And I think the majority of the right that are on my channel, you're not extreme. We call it extremism wherever it's at. We just have different ideas and different. We think that you think this political solution will work. The left thinks this political solution will work. They're just different ideas on the same. We're trying to address the same problems, but the extreme, they're all about hate. That's just the extreme. So, please don't classify all liberals or all Republicans as woke or as extreme. I might even have some ideas that you don't agree with when it comes to gender ideology. You know, like I'm inclusive. I might have ideas. I get called out for being a female pastor, and they're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. But again, it's civilized, I would assume, that, okay, we disagree. All right, and we're not going to come to terms on this, so let's agree to disagree. I'm going to go over here and live my life. You go over here and live your life, and we don't have to cross paths, but I'm not out to hurt you. Hopefully you're not out to hurt me. Sorry, I'm a little frazzled on this one.
melanin. They don't want peace, they want skeletons. They want men to pretend that they're feminine. They don't want an election, they got so offended by freedom that they just try killing the president. I used to think that the woke were misguided, but now I can see that they're evil. Twitter is angry that Trump isn't dead. You know who got shot? Innocent people. Thought y'all were...
That right there. The greatest sign of extremism is you will take your opponent out at all costs, no matter what the collateral damage is. That's extremism. That's not the typical liberal or the typical Republican. It's not. So again, I send my condolences to those who lost their lives, to those who were injured, to those who are going to have PTSD from this, to those who were, there and had to struggle. Listen, I don't agree with Trump's policies, the majority of them. I just don't. And that's okay. I don't want the man dead. I don't want the man dead. That is not okay. That is not okay. Extremism does not care who gets injured as long as they get what they want. I want certain things. If I don't get my way, I move on with my life. There's a difference. There's a difference.
That they're evil. Twitter is angry that Trump isn't dead. You know who got shot? Innocent people. Thought y'all were tolerant. Thought we were equals. I thought you valued how everyone feels. Then why are innocent people? Thought y'all were tolerant. Thought we freedom that they...
Sorry, guys. I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that.
They just try killing the president. I used to think that the woke were misguided, but now I can see that they're evil. Twitter is angry that Trump isn't dead. You know who got shot? Innocent people. Thought y'all were tolerant. Thought we were equals. I thought you valued how everyone feels. Then why are you...
Okay. This may not be true when it comes to extremism, but I do believe everyone's equal. I am tolerant. I do have the idea of we're going to agree to disagree, okay? And I'm on the left, and I know I'm being a little more defensive here because I just don't want to classify. Now, I don't want to be classified and grouped in with extremism because just because I don't have the same ideas politically doesn't mean I'm extreme. Now, with that said, guys, I'm saying this from my limited perspective. I could absolutely be wrong. I'm okay with being wrong and being corrected if I am wrong and changing my perspective if I'm wrong, okay? But from the limited data that I have, and I don't have all the data, I was told that this shooter acted alone, that he had no very, very minimal social media presence, that he was a registered Republican. Now, this is just the data I have. And that he donated to progressive something. I don't even know what the progressive thing. I assume progressive being liberal of some sort. So I don't even know if the guy was what he was. But what I do know is that when these incidences, not the shooting of the president, but when incidences of shootings have happened, because here in America they happen quite frequently, right? Mass shootings, this and that. Two things are regularly said. It's not the gun that kills, it's people. And two, address the mental health issue. So if we believe it's mental health, and that's what you all have told me, everybody's told me, it's not about the guns, it's about mental health, which I'm okay with it if that's it. If it's mental health, then this is mental health too. And it's the acting of one individual, as far as I know, one person, not the whole party, not everybody, one person. Then we need to still address the mental health. And I'm going to stand on everything that I've always said that you guys, since you guys know me. If it's mental health, then let's do something. Let's quit talking about it. Let's get the mental health addressed. If that's the solution, then let's implement it. Why are we not implementing it? Because it can't be what we can't do. And I know people are enraged right now. I'm enraged. But we can't pick and choose and say, if the left shouts out and says, listen, these shootings are happening, and the right says it's mental health, then when it goes against the right, and again, I do not condone this. I do not condone any violence. So please don't mistake my argument here for like, oh, I'm all for, I'm not. If someone on the left is shot and it's said it's mental health, it's going to be mental health. If it's mental health, it's going to be mental health if someone is shot on the right. So if mental health is the issue, if that's really the issue, let's address that. Let's address mental health. I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part. I work with people with intellectual disabilities, mental health. That's literally what I do. I literally had a 8-hour training yesterday, on being, it was mental health, a first aider, just how to deal with mental health. Now, I'm not an expert in any means at all. I'm just trying to do my part. If mental health is what it is, then let's address that. What a horrible weekend.
We're misguided, but now I can see that they're evil. Twitter is angry that Trump isn't dead. You know who got shot? Innocent people. Thought y'all were tolerant, thought we were equals. I thought you valued how everyone feels. Then why are y'all celebrating an attempted assassination like you're part of Antifa?
I cannot understand the celebration of innocent people. And I do understand, I think Ben Shapiro had made a comment like, I can't even like go there because I don't remember the comment because my emotions, and I'm having brain fog a little bit. So,
you know who got shot? Innocent people. Thought y'all were tolerant, thought we were equals. I thought you valued how everyone feels. Then why are y'all celebrating an attempted...
Yeah, sorry, that's what it is. I've just not understood celebrating the death of a political opponent or the attempted assassination of a political opponent. I don't understand how letting some people in Washington have so much influence on your life that it causes so much hatred. Because here's the thing, we all hated somebody in our lives. Everybody, like in our personal lives, right? And when you go into the same room with that person, let's say you're at a party and you're having a good time and that person walks in, they're having a good time. Guess who's not having a good time? You're not. I've never understood hatred. I understand hatred. I just don't understand hating people we don't know. Like, be passionate, have your stance and views, but at the end of the day, move on. Move on. You don't get your way, so what? I don't get my way, so what? So what? It's not about celebrating violence, celebrating, I'm so flustered.
Tolerant, thought we were equals. I thought you valued how everyone feels. Then why are y'all celebrating an attempted assassination like you're part of Antifa? Thank God the left can't aim. Thank God the
I can aim. I've got my guns. I can aim. I've got good aim too.
right don't riot. Welcome to the like you're
With that said, there's no threat there. I'm just saying, in self-defense, if someone comes against my family, I can aim. But I'm never, ever gonna use my firearm in an irresponsible way. Like, I'm just not that person.
part of Antifa. Thank God the left can't aim. Thank God the right don't riot. Welcome to the home.
See, I struggle with this. Thank God the left can't aim. Thank God the right don't riot. I know this is a hot topic, but I've seen, at least from the limited perspective, from the data that I have, that the left and the right both have rioted. We saw, again, I know people have their stance, and I'm not here to make accusations, but we've seen the extremes on both sides. Not the right, not the left, the extremes riot. I've seen the extremes. I've seen the extreme rights go into, I've seen it with my own eyes, the extreme, not conservative, the extreme, go in there and attack LGBT. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen it. So, and I've seen the left, the extreme left do the same thing. I've seen them riot. Just, at least from what I've seen, from the data that I've been given, trying to wade through all the horse crap that's out there, trying to figure out what is actual truth. I don't even know what actual truth is with all the data that's coming from all these talking, but I don't even know. But what I can assess with the best of my ability, with the tools that I have, I've seen it from both sides. Extreme, not the average American, the extreme.
Like you're part of Antifa. Thank God the left can't aim. Thank God the right don't riot. Welcome to the home of the brave. Freedom and afraid of violence. No. You wish you was dying? Bitch, you missed. Thank God the left can't aim. Why can't we just shoot straight? Y'all are going insane.
It's a bar, by the way. I hate that I break down bar and something emotional. Why can't we just shoot straight? Why can't we just be like straight up, honest, deal with this, the struggles that we're having, the conflicts in ideology, and just have real conversations. And I would say this, that does happen. It does happen. You just don't see it with the extreme, the loud voices. And that's what's played on socials, on the news media, because that's what gets the views and the clicks. But you get rid of all of that, or even underneath all of that, the underlining average American, we are having these conversations. I have them all the time with you guys.
The left can't aim. Why can't we just shoot straight? Y'all are going insane. Bitch, you missed. There's no one else you can blame. Tried to lock him up in a cage. Now you trying to kill what you hate. Bitch, you missed. Told us trust the science, but it never made sense to me. Why would we put all our trust in the enemy? Millions of people are hooked on amphetamines. They're making billions on untested remedies. Borders are open to people with felonies. Biden can't stop them, he don't have the energy. Y'all want to kill the man trying to fight for a better tomorrow by making him Kennedy? I tried to give y'all a chance, like maybe the left isn't nuts. I was wrong, cause y'all are exactly as crazy as every conservative person I know said you were all along.
It's not true. Not true. Not true, Tom. The woke The extreme is absolutely true. The left, you can't categorize you can't categorize a whole group of people and put them all in the same box and say you're all the same. That doesn't work because it's not true. It's not true. In fact, as you guys have watched my channel, you see that we agree on a lot more than we disagree on, and I'm on the left. So that's not true. The extremes, that is true. On the extremes, it is true. The extreme right, the extreme left, the extreme anything, it's true.
Trying to fight for a better tomorrow by making them Kennedy? I tried to give y'all a chance, like maybe the left isn't nuts. I was wrong, cause y'all are exactly as crazy as every conservative person I know said you were all along. Wanna protest, go hard. Wanna burn flags, go off. But y'all are so triggered that you're pulling triggers at presidents. Y'all the terrorists when you're armed. Thank God the...
Y'all are so triggered. I'm not triggered, Tom. Well, let me rephrase this. This whole thing, this last weekend, what's going on, it's just like, I'm just like, we got to define triggered. It's traumatizing. I'm not going to lie. It's like, it's so heartbreaking because I care about my fellow Americans. But it doesn't like, I'm not triggered in that sense. Here's the thing. Y'all have said, we're coming to a civil war. The lines in there's been a line drawn in the sand. There's no coming together. But do you guys realize that after our civil war, we came together? Like we found a way to come together. We can still figure this out. We've got to figure this out. A house divided cannot stand. And here's the reality. If America falls from internal fighting, it hurts everybody. If it falls, it falls. It hurts all of us. We're all vested in the success of our country. We've got to figure this out. And what you can't do is categorize and say the left with that entire group of people is guilty when that's just not true. That's just not true. That's stereotyping. You can't. And stereotyping is based on, it's not based on facts. You got to individualize the left and the right.
But y'all are so triggered that you're pulling triggers at presidents. Y'all...
Again, guys, I'm still coming off my mini ears. I'm dealing with a little bit of brain fog. Bear with me if I'm not getting my words out the way I normally do. Come on.
Wanna burn flags, go off. But y'all are so triggered that you're pulling triggers at presidents. Y'all the terrorists when you're armed. Thank God the left...
Again, from the evidence that I know. Now, I know there's some like, you had the Secret Service, you had the greatest, protection on the planet. How did that person get up there? But as far as I know, it wasn't the left. It was a person, a single person, as far as I know. And again, I don't have all the data, and I'm okay if I'm corrected on this, okay? But please be nice, because I'm not trying to stir up like any more, trauma. I'm trying to like wrestle through this and get the data and figure out like what is going on. But as far as I know, it was one guy who had apparently mental health issues. Let's address the mental health.
Left can't aim, thank God the right don't riot. Welcome to the home of the brave, freedom ain't afraid of violence. You wish you was dying? Bitch, you missed! Thank God the left can't aim. Why can't we just shoot straight? Y'all are going insane. Bitch, you missed! There's no one else you can blame. Tried to lock him up in a cage. Now you trying to kill what you hate. Bitch, you missed!
Yeah, what a horrible weekend. What a horrible weekend. Like, I don't understand, like, why people feel the need to take matters into their own hands in the sense of enacting violence. I will never condone violence. I just won't. Self-defense, absolutely. Protecting your family, absolutely. But going out there to take out someone that you disagree with policies? Policies? Listen, I disagree with every single president's policies on the left and the right. There's only some that I agree with. And usually, historically, when I've voted for a president, no matter which side it's been, and I voted both sides in my past, even the things that I agreed on, they didn't follow through all the way. And it's like, you have to do the best that you can with the data you have, but you're going to go out and murder someone or attempt to murder someone based on a policy difference? No, that's not okay. I'm a Christian. I love God. I love people. And I'm liberal. And you're like, can't be a liberal and be a Christian. Well, look, there's one right here. So you're looking at one, and I don't condone any type of assassination, any type of violence, any of that stuff from either side. And if it was the left, which it was not, it was a person. But even if it was the left, I would condemn the action no matter what. Because it's not okay. It's not okay. Tirade over. I appreciate the fact that Tom was able to put this out in 12 hours, that Nova was able to do this. I appreciate the passion. I know there's a line drawn in the sand. It looks like, I don't know. It looks like there's a line drawn in the sand with Tom, that he's gone to the right. Listen, that's okay. You do you, I'll do me when it comes to policies. But I still believe that we can show mutual respect to one another, and we can still agree to disagree, and that we can still come together, because we shouldn't allow the action of one person or 100 people who are not tied into the masses. They should not determine how you and I interact. That's all I got, guys. God bless you. Bye.